I know this video is kind of late, but I just wanted to give everybody a chance to go see the movie and have it rake in as much money as it could before I did it, and I decided why not, let's just do it now. I wasn't going to do one, but I wanted to now because I did promise one in my review, so let's do it. So judging by the title and thumbnail of this video, you know that this is a Black Panther spoiler review. If you have not yet seen the movie, which I don't know why you wouldn't, leave this video and go check out the movie because it's a great movie and I highly recommend that you check it out. Now this is the 18th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is just astounding to me. I cannot believe that they've made 18 solid, watchable movies, and at the least they're decent. Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 2 and The Incredible Hulk are like the worst ones, but even those are fun movies. But this one, I think, might be the most well-made Marvel movie yet that we have. And I can see it being tough to top it because this movie has got such political relevance right now. So many social issues that we see today are present in this movie, and they're mainly reflected in the character Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan. I'm not going to get into his character too much in this because I am doing a Why I Think About Him this week, and I don't want to ruin it. So stay tuned for the Why I Think, just to learn more about Killmonger and how I felt about him as a villain. But the short answer is I feel pretty good about him being a villain because he was fantastic in the movie and he is just amazing. So it's Michael B. Jordan also. He's a great guy. He's ripped. He's awesome. He's fun. He's funny. He's likable. He's awesome. He's the best. Ryan Coogler directs this movie with such sophisticated manner. Like, he just does such a great job with handling the social issues and political issues and not making it overt and beating you over the head with it and sort of trying to make a statement. He's making a great movie with a statement that is relevant in the movie. And it's great. It's really great and it's really well done. And I'm glad that this movie is as inclusive as it's been. I'm not sure if it is 100% inclusive, but I haven't heard too many incidents. Like, for example, Wonder Woman had all women screenings, and I just feel like we're going in the opposite direction if we're doing that. But I haven't seen too much of that with this movie, and that's great because I thought this movie was just an accessible, enjoyable movie for everybody of every color. And that's how it should be all the time, and I thought that was great with this movie especially. My favorite character in the movie might be Shuri. I love Letitia Wright in this role. I think she's going to kill it in Infinity War. I think she's like the coolest new addition in the MCU. Like, her and Valkyrie are just going to be so cool. I think it's going to be so much fun to see them interact with the Avengers, and it's so much fun that we have more women in this universe, and I love it. I think it's the best. And Winston Duke as M'Baku is also really strong here. I loved him. I know this feels like a review, but I'm just delving in more to the characters, and I couldn't in my spoiler-free review. But I loved M'Baku. I loved the whole setup fight with T'Challa and M'Baku where they fight for the throne. That was a really good fight, and I thought that set up brilliantly for the fight with Killmonger at the end. That was even better, that fight at the end. That was fantastic. Well, the two fights at the end, the big CGI one and then the really meaningful waterfall one. The waterfall one is the best fight in the movie, and the best scene in the movie, in my opinion. That scene is so emotional and impactful. Everything about that scene is brilliant, and even I gotta be honest with you guys, I really am kind of sick of seeing Forrest Whitaker in movies. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Bobby Cannavale effect for me. I'm just kind of sick of seeing Forrest Whitaker. Between this and Rogue One, I'm like, oh my god, this guy again. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't see him having that much range anymore. Like, I'm just sort of like, yeah, that's Forrest Whitaker. I don't care. But he's good in this movie, and he delivers the whole, like, spoiler twist with N'Jobu being Eric Killmonger's father. That was the whole big reveal of the movie, that T'Challa and him were related. I had a feeling before I walked in that they would be related somewhat. I don't read the comics or anything, so I wouldn't know. But I had a feeling they had, like, familial ties because I was like, why would he be in Wakanda trying to take over the throne if he didn't have a reason to? So I like that. T'Challa is also, like, the best new hero, I think. He's so likable. And I think he is on par with Captain America as being, like, one of my favorites. He stands for everything that's good, and I love that. Like, he goes by the justice of things. He doesn't kill. He only kills when he needs to. I really like that about his character, and I think he's going to be awesome in Infinity War once again. He's awesome in Civil War, and he's awesome here, and it's just going to make me care that much more about him in Infinity War, and I can't wait for Infinity War. It's going to be incredible. Okoye is also unreal. I just watched the newest episode of The Walking Dead, and it's unfortunate to see her downgrade again. she's so good here in Black Panther, and I think she's going to kill it in Avengers Infinity War. I'm going to keep saying that because everybody in this movie should be in Infinity War, and most of them are, and that's great. I think Okoye is really cool. I love her action scenes, and I can't wait to see more of her because she's also fantastic, a great new addition to the MCU, and I loved her. Lupita Nyong'o is fine here. I didn't really see anything with her that stood out for me. Like, I thought she was just sort of like the weakest of like the great female characters in this movie. But she was good. I like her whole like story about her being his ex and T'Challa's ex and how she could potentially... they set it up at the end of her being the queen someday. I thought that was cool. I dug it. I just don't really think that I had that much... I liked her action scenes too. She had a lot of great moments of comedy with the car. That was funny. But nothing really amazing from Lupita here. Daniel Kaluuya as W'Kabi though, I really wanted to see more of him, and I was kind of hoping... From the posters and the trailers, I was like, Daniel Kaluuya is not going to be in this that much, but he was in it more than I thought he would be. But I was hoping he would have more of an impact in this movie. He's sort of just set up to be the opposing good guy by the end with Killmonger, because he sort of goes by Killmonger's rule by the end. And I wasn't in love with his character. I wanted more development from his and Okoye's relationship, so maybe there could have been more with Daniel Kaluuya, and maybe he'll stick around and be in future MCU movies. I would love that, because I love Daniel Kaluuya, his great talent, and it would just be a waste to have him just this one time in this, because he's such a great actor, and I love him. Martin Freeman is also, he sort of has the Chris Pine role in this movie, where he goes to Africa, Wakanda, and he's sort of like the outsider there. Not just because he's white, but because he's not from Wakanda, obviously. And much like Wonder Woman, I felt like, you know, there's some of the comedy in it is a little bit much, but I thought Martin Freeman was a... He didn't take away from any of the action sequences, I'll say that. I didn't think he stood out particularly. I thought he was fine, but he sort of is just there for a lot of this, and I liked his action scenes with the whole helicarrier thing. Not the helicarrier, obviously, but the planes that he flew, the ship that he flew, and he was taking down all the other ships that were going to ship off the vibranium. I liked that, but otherwise I thought he was just kind of fine. The best scene, the best comedic scene in the movie, though, is when M'Baku and his guys are like howling at him, and you know, they say they'll feed him to the dogs, and for a minute you're like, oh, this might be a little bit racist, and then it's like, no, yeah, we're vegetarians, it's fine. That was funny. That was a good joke. I really also liked how this movie didn't go the traditional MCU way, where the comedy just beats the shit out of you every 5 minutes, and it's like, oh my god, there's so much comedy. This movie feels very, it's woven into the story, it's organic. The only one joke that I felt like was very out there was the what are those joke, where it was like, okay, you're obviously just trying to get a laugh, and it's obnoxious because you're using like current humor that will not be relevant in 5 years from now. But that was like the only moment where, and I even laughed at that, so it doesn't, I'm a hypocrite for even saying that. But that was like the one joke where I felt like, okay, you're going for the Marvel gut punch right now, but whatever. This movie also just kind of break the mold that Marvel doesn't kill their characters, because they kill quite a bit of people here. They kill Killmonger, they kill him, they kill Zuri and Shuri. I just noticed that they have like the exact same name. Forrest Whitaker's character, they kill him, and T'Chaka obviously died in Civil War, which I also love the use of T'Chaka here, and I think, I've heard rumors online that when they communicate with the dead, they're lying on the Soul Stone. That'd be dope as hell, and I would love that for Infinity War. I do like that they didn't, I don't like that they didn't introduce an Infinity Stone, but I understand why they didn't introduce one, because it would have taken away from the social aspect of the story, and it would have been like, oh, this just feels like MCU Infinity War setup. But I like that I would have liked to see some sort of reference to it, maybe just like a quick line, like a throwaway line that we would have been able to pick up on, but we didn't get one, and that's fine. It'll probably be introduced in Infinity War that it's in Wakanda, because there's no doubt in my mind that the Soul Stone is not in Wakanda. It's definitely in Wakanda, because everybody's attacking Wakanda in that trailer, and it's gotta be there. It has to. Andy Serkis, though, is probably the one that I feel like got cheated the most. He was making such an impression on me in the whole movie, and then when Killmonger just shoots him, I was like, oh. Claw was so good in this, and I loved the vibranium arm, everything with Claw was so fun. Andy Serkis just looked like he was having such a fun time doing this, and I loved everything with Andy Serkis. He's such a great talent. I love Andy Serkis, and I hope he succeeds in anything he does. I love Andy Serkis. The best. As for the end credit scenes, I felt that the first one with the UN, the sort of Wakanda coming out to the real world and sharing their resources with everybody else, I thought that could have been the ending of the movie. I get it, it would have taken away from the whole meaningful, like, this is where Killmonger grew up spot in the movie, and it would have been like, okay, now we're at the UN and we're going to talk about how Wakanda is going to share its resources with the rest of the world. But I felt like that could have been a moment in the movie, and it wouldn't have been any different. It's fine that it was an after credit scene, and I like what it sets up for the potential future of it, where you know, he even says like we should be building bridges, not walls, which is a great tie with what we're doing right now with Trump and everything. And then the after credit scene with Bucky, I thought that was I think that's going to be a scene in Infinity War. Personally, I think that's definitely going to be a part, much like they did in Ant-Man. Where and also Doctor Strange, where they show like a little bit of a scene and then it'll be expanded on in the actual movie. I think that's what we just saw there, with Bucky being woken up, probably being alerted that Thanos is here and, you know, shit's going down, we need you to help. The whole thing. I'm sure that's a part in the movie. Then Shuri's going to have her little part in that movie. I feel like she won't be in it much longer than that, but oh, hopefully she'll, because there are a lot of action scenes in Wakanda. We'll see. As you can tell, I'm very excited for Infinity War, and I loved Black Panther. I think it's the best MCU movie to date, although my favorite is still Civil War. But this movie was so well done and just masterfully made, and Ryan Coogler is the best director for this, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the future. I hope he does Black Panther 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 7. I want him to do all of them, because he's such a great talent, and he's the best. So, what did you guys think of Black Panther? Sound off in the comments. You can go spoiler heavy, whatever you want to do. Go ahead. The movie's been out for like 2 weeks now, and it's making a fuck ton of money, which is incredible. And yeah, say whatever you want down below. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.